Today's master class is for our Patreon members only. And I've had a couple of questions, and I filmed the video and I didn't really like the way it came out, and so I'm gonna just kind of redo this video because I think it's important. It's about relapsing, relationships, breakups, and stress and stuff like that. So my email address is ufoguy51@yahoo.com. I'm watching this guy play with this little kitty over here. So my last, how basically the question was, I on here, it was, about 2 years ago, I broke up. It was a pretty bad breakup with a girl that I was with, and she was using, and I wasn't, and handling the stress of, breaking up with her and not using drugs. So I'm going to just kind of touch on that, I guess is the word I'm looking for. When you're in a relationship, the drugs are not going to do anything to fix the relationship. If you're using drugs as a drugs as a like a Band-Aid, it's not going to fucking it's not going to fix things. It's just a Band-Aid, so you're going to have all these feelings of anger, resentment, hurt, and all of that, and I think it's very important to be cognizant of that, and it's normal to have those feelings. And instead of using booze to numb your feelings and try to get through the day, you're just going to have to get through it, whether you have like a counselor or a meeting, a gym membership. But I think the reason why I was able to be successful and not pick up during that time, and it really didn't even cross my mind. One, I was like, I'm not spending, my main thing is at this point in my recovery, I'm not going to look for pills, you know what I mean? Two, it's a completely different ball game now with the fentanyl. And three, I'm not spending my money on this shit because of this shit, you know what I mean? Like, my thing, and I was fucking angry, and I still am, and I don't pretend not to be. You gotta be able to use that for something else. If you can take that anger and use it towards, like, I just said, I'm just gonna keep going to the gym. I am not deviating. I'm not deviating from my plan. I'm not letting this, even though it is, and it still does some days and some moments, and you just gotta win those little moments, but turn that shit into something that you can do physically, whether it's go for a bike ride, go start a fucking jiu-jitsu class, male or female, go learn something, like go take a, get on Google, get out of your comfort zone, and go, go to one of your state parks if you can, go to a welder's thing, take some college classes, do something. You don't have to. I'm not going to go out. I know a lot of people say, when you're in a relationship and the best thing is to meet somebody else. I think that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. That does nothing for your feelings, and then you're carrying around feelings that you've never addressed, and that you're not getting out of here without processing that. And you can put it off and put it off and put it off, but it's going to eventually be too much. So that's why I talk and I'm as transparent as I am about shit, because I don't hold nothing back, because whatever shame I've had or have or whatever, I'm just letting go of, shit. It was a bad situation. Fuck it. What would be worse? I'm not going to let that person win. I'm not going to let that person fucking break me. I'm not going to let that person stop me from being productive. I'm not going to mope around the house. I'm not going to fucking sit in bed all day. I'm not saying you can't be depressed, but you cannot let that shit define you. And I've always been a pretty strong-willed person. And, I mean, I buried my brother, before I was 30 years old. I was throwing fucking dirt on his coffin after they lowered it into the ground, you know what I mean, in front of people. I gave a eulogy at his funeral. My other brother died before I was 40. My favorite cat died on Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? Like, you should, and if you haven't, that's fine too, but you should be able to, just use something physical or something to. Are you really putting me down this fucking long ass traffic jam road? Use something, find something. There's got to be something. There's always an alternative. You know what I mean? There's always an alternative. There's always an alternative. There's always a way, and I just know that God works all things together for good. He's aware of this. He let it happen, and that's really the nuts and bolts of it. There's a reason why this happened, and his grace or whatever, if he wants me to meet somebody else, we'll meet somebody else, and if you don't, you don't. I mean, whatever. You're not going to find happiness in people. You're not going to find happiness in relationships. I meet a lot of people, male and female, that they can't be alone. And that's a real fucking weak mindset to have to, I can never be alone. I don't want to live alone. Why? Face that shit. I don't know. I've never understood it. I've been alone. I've slept next to a cat more than I've slept next to somebody else. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like drugs are not going to make anything better. If anything, now you're relapsing. You're picking up you're going back. You're going to get dope sick. You're going to get this, you're going to get that. You're going to have to just fucking, I just know that no bad time on earth is going to be able to outlast my desire to, just put my head down and work and just keep going and going and going and going and going until that time dissipates, and it will. Sometimes feel like they go on forever. Listen, it's been 2 years. I'm fucking over it. You know what I mean? Now I'm just at the point where it's like, it's out of my hands. You know what I mean? This shit is out of my hands. It's nothing that, it's not because of me. So I can't control these things, so God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change and whatever else I forget at this point. But, don't let people fuck your life up. Don't let people break you. Don't let people fucking change your where you're heading, your travel, where your mission, where don't let that shit set you back, because one door opens, another one, closes, and vice versa. So for me, I would just say, everything is, there's not one way to do this, so you have to figure out what's best for you. I mean, but I would just say, if you can, in a healthy way, use that shit and go, like I get fucking aggravated thinking about it, and I do that when I'm on my way to the gym. You know what I mean? Like I'll be on my way to the gym and I'll be like, this motherfucker. And I'll be thinking about shit, I did this, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking smash this shit when I can't wait to get here now, And after that, I'm done. I'm on my way home, or I'm going to fucking walk my dog. And, you had a good workout. You're still sober. You still have money. And, you're making progress. you know? Progress is better than regress. You know what I mean?